Antonio starts right now.
Today is a time for many families to get together, but for families of the victims of the shooting in Uvalde, it's anything but a celebration on the 6-month anniversary. How a special tradition is helping the community move forward.
And whether you'll be on the roads or in the sky, it's going to be a busy few days travel-wise. We're going to show you how many will be trying to get over the hills and through the woods to Grandma's house today. Outside with live cam, our borrowed line from Mike Osterhage online this morning. The fog is thicker than Thanksgiving gravy. We'll talk to him coming up as we all handle traffic duties as well. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. It is Thursday, November 24th. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us. And yes, I get nervous when I can't see the skyline driving into work. It was tricky in some spots out there this morning. The roads are wet. If you don't have to be out this morning, at least wait till the sun comes up because it is treacherous. Mike Osterhage is here with more on that. And the visibility stink pretty much everywhere this morning, Mike?
Yeah. And it's funny, there's no dense fog advisory yet.
Okay.
Weather Service indicated that it's going to be continuing to monitor the situation. They just sent out an advisory saying that there's so much thick fog around the area. But it was interesting waking up this morning and looking out back and it's like, what's going on? I mean, the fog was that thick that even, streetlights were just illuminating it right outside your door. And this is what it looks like. This is the camera over there by the airport. Somewhere in here is 410 and visibilities. These are the numbers. It is, literally pea soup, gravy, however you want to call it. Zero visibility, Castroville, Quarter Mile, Stinson, Port SA, Pleasanton. Just a matter of maybe 100 yards out there at the airport. Quarter Mile, New Braunfels, Bernie, and there is thick fog all over the place this morning. I mean, nobody is really getting away with any clear skies out there at all. Also, we do have a couple of light little showers, and here's the we got some maybe a little bit more widespread, just light rain. Lakey, Concan, Uvalde, Crystal City, right around Carrizo Springs, and then a few more of these showers. A couple of maybe an okay shower here right around Kennedy, coming in Floresville, Pleasanton, all sliding sort of up to the north with a little bit of a northwestwardly flavor, and then in and around town, just a couple of light little showers. We are going to continue to have rain around the area today. Temperatures are very, very mild. We are at 61 right now, upper 50s, low 60s, about 10 degrees above what it was at this time yesterday. And look at these dew points. They are really up. The humidity came back in with a vengeance, and it's going to be sticking around throughout the day. The allergens, mold is on the high side. I would imagine when the updated count comes out that number is going to be going up. And throughout the rest of today, 67 at noon. We will hit 70 today. Showers, fog, showers off and on throughout the day. Then later on today, we do have the front moving on through. As it comes through, there is the chance, and most of this is going to be further off to the east, but there is the chance for a strong, potentially severe storm. High winds and hail would be the biggest threats. But again, most all of this, we're on the western or southwestern edge. Most all of it's going to be east and further up to the northeast. But then also, rain is going to be an issue. I can't believe I'm saying that we're going to be potentially getting way too much rain after what we haven't gotten so far this year. But we are looking at some widespread showers today. Then it's really going to start to pick up tomorrow. And we are looking at, and this doesn't even include some of those localized spots with some of those heavier storms, but in and around town. We're looking at maybe just let me go back to that, a couple of inches of rain with heavier amounts off to the east and to the northeast. So it is going to be wet. If you're planning on doing shopping tomorrow, you may want to rethink heading out to these stores because it is going to be wet throughout most all of the day. And this is going to extend then into Saturday morning as well. Then we'll start to clear out. So we will get everything all sorted out in just a couple of minutes. But hitting the roads today, may want to think twice about that. Steph, Mark?
Mike, thank you very much. As families prepare to sit down to Thanksgiving meals today, 21 seats will be empty at tables in Uvalde, 6 months to the day of the shooting at Robb Elementary School. And as our Stefania Jimenez reports, that loss was certainly felt yesterday as the annual Love Ya Uvalde lunch went on without one of its longtime volunteers.
To be able to say, hey, we're back 2 years later after, COVID-19 and everything like that, it means the world for, to see the community come out.
After 2 years of only doing home deliveries, the annual Love Ya Uvalde luncheon returned in person for its 39th year. What started as a tradition to feed the elderly now provides free meals to the entire community. It fully relies on volunteers. For 9-year-old Jackie Cáceres, it was a can't-miss event.
She would serve. She would usher people to their seats and stuff like that. She was all over the place. She did a lot.
Jackie was one of the 21 victims killed at Robb Elementary 6 months ago. In light of the shooting, this year's event was almost canceled, but Jackie's family decided to carry on in her honor.
We're like, we can't stop doing this. You know, there's something that she wanted us, to keep on doing, so here we are.
But even with the luncheon success, Jackie's absence was felt.
It's emotional. She'd be up and down this place. I think she's a boss man, boss lady.
And KSAT continues to share the stories of the Robb Elementary victims. Next week, we'll look back at the last 6 months. Join us for 21 Taken, Uvalde's Path to Healing. That airs next Friday, December 2nd at 7 o'clock, right here on KSAT 12.
Let's look at the roads with TransGuide. Kind of foggy out there. Looking over at Loop 410 at Starcrest. And Mark, you said you saw 2 lanes blocked over at 151?
And Loop 410. Yeah, that's the only collision reported right now. Traffic is very light around the city. Well, experts have warned it could be the deadliest Thanksgiving on the road since 2007.
ABC's Andrew Dimbert tells us what makes this year so different.
This morning, Americans are still packing airports and roads across the country as families rush to make it home in time for Thanksgiving dinner. With nearly 49 million expected to drive, traffic slowed to a crawl in Philadelphia, Chicago, and Los Angeles.
Oh man, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be pretty hectic.
And while gas prices are falling, AAA says the national average of $3.63 a gallon is still the most expensive Thanksgiving week average on record.
I just make it work. I mean, what else can we do? You have to travel. You have to get from point A to point B.
Airports are also jam-packed as air travel is expected to reach near pre-pandemic levels. Overnight, Cleveland's airport was briefly locked down and flights delayed after a man drove through an airfield gate.
It's so busy. It is. We've never experienced this before. We don't usually fly before Thanksgiving for this reason. We usually stay local, but we decided to fly, and it's nuts.
American, United, and Delta expecting to serve a combined 18 million customers this holiday. Despite the high number of travelers and busy airports, less than 100 flights were canceled on Wednesday. And air passengers are not the only ones taking to the skies. In New York, despite the NYPD reporting there have been no credible threats made on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, in light of recent shootings and attacks on parades in Illinois and Wisconsin, security will be tight.
The Counterterrorism Bureau will deploy additional resources to ensure the festivities across the city are safe for all.
Police departments in other cities say they are also activating additional resources to protect their holiday events. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Other news this morning, although former Vice President Mike Pence won't talk to the January 6th committee, he may participate in the criminal probe from the U.S. Justice Department. Sources say Pence's team has indicated the former VP is open to discussing an agreement for testimony with Justice. DOJ's request for the former vice president's testimony under oath came before the appointment of special counsel Jack Smith. It's unclear how the existence of the new special counsel might impact the negotiations between the DOJ and Pence's team.
Some researchers are sounding the alarm about measles. A new study shows fewer people are getting vaccinated against the disease. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says vaccination rates around the world had improved since the start of the century, but the pandemic set back efforts to wipe out measles. Global coverage rose to 86% in 2019, but over the past 2 years, the vaccination rate has slipped to 81%, its lowest level since 2008. Researchers say nearly 25 million infants did not receive their first dose of the vaccine last year.
Thanksgiving morning, 4:38, 61 degrees.
Consumer Reports investigation found some ads targeting certain people. We're going to tell you why those ads could potentially be dangerous if you buy certain products.
And what the heck? Another bad night for our San Antonio Spurs. Find out what Doug McDermott said about the loss to the Pelicans last night at the AT&T Center.
Boo. Okay, and taking a look outside with live cam, you can barely see everything. Pretty dense fog out there for the most part, at least on my ride to work. But we are at 61 degrees, a little warmer. We'll be right back.
4:42, our Spurs looking to feast on the Pelicans last night at the AT&T Center. However, the Pels scored the first 9 points of the game while the Spurs missed their first 8 shots from the floor. Zion Williamson finishes the alley-oop, and it's 11-2 Pelicans. They led by 10 after 1. Spurs trailed 67-47 at the half. Third quarter, Spurs still fighting. Trey Jones steals the bad pass, then goes bounce pass to Vassell for the dunk. And the Spurs are down 16. Never got better for the Silver and Black, who trailed from start to finish by as many as 27. Pelicans win big, 129-110, handing our Spurs their 6th straight loss.
You know, it was disappointing to see the way we started out because I thought we'd come out a little more ready to play tonight, but it took us a half to get there, and can't let that happen. You know, as a leader with myself and a few of the other guys, we got to do a better job of really, you know, relaying that message to the younger guys.
Up next, the Spurs host those LA Lakers tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Last Sunday, Cowboys did a great job of slowing down the Vikings' running attack, holding them to 73 yards in the Cowboys' win. Today, their run defense will get tested by the Giants running back Saquon Barkley. He is second in the league with 953 yards on the ground. Cowboys' ability to stop the run has been their weakness this season. In the first meeting this season, Barkley rushed for 81 yards and a touchdown in the Giants' 23-16 home loss to the Cowboys. We'll see what happens later today. Kickoff between the Giants and Cowboys starts at 3:30 this afternoon. That is the midday game. We have Bills-Lions first, and the nightcap tonight is Patriots-Vikings.
Busy football day.
Yes, can't wait.
Time now, 4:43 and 61 degrees for now. Social media product pitches can be dangerous. We are taking a look at some of the ads targeting the most vulnerable.
And police in Idaho still can't figure out who murdered those 4 college students. Why investigators are now relying on the public for more help.
They're Facebook ads about boosting brain power and curing insomnia.
We found ads and posts that promoted the use of some supplements that are dangerous or even illegal. For example, we found a series of posts from a verified Facebook page that promoted the use of comfrey, which is a dangerous supplement.
Consumer Reports investigation found some ads targeting certain people.
We found some ads that targeted people who Facebook thought were interested in diabetes awareness, and Facebook was allowing marketers to put ads in front of those people that marketed things like a reverse diabetes kit. And of course, medical experts say that supplements in general can't cure or reverse diabetes.
New Life USA took down that listing. Its CEO said he thinks people with diabetes should continue to work with their doctors, but also said they should wean themselves off medication. They also found dangerous supplements for sale on Facebook Marketplace, including Kratom, which the DEA lists as a drug of concern. Facebook said the Kratom listings violated their rules, and most Kratom listings disappeared. But even if the ads are removed, that might not solve the bigger issue.
So unlike a medication, for example, where clinical trials have to be presented to the FDA before something can be approved and be sold, these supplements might end up on the shelves. They're not going through a filter beforehand.
In general, you should check with your doctor before trying new supplements. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Well, speaking of Marilyn, she is part of the KSAT crew that's getting ready for Thanksgiving at home today.
And here's how Marilyn and her family are preparing their big meal.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We're getting ready for tomorrow's Thanksgiving here with my daughters, Zoe and Samantha. This is our brine for our turkey tomorrow. This right here is my favorite we're whipping up. It's a fresh cranberry Jell-O salad. Yes, Jell-O. Apples, oranges, citrusy, yummy goodness. I could just have it for breakfast. And here is our pie. We just got out of the oven. Not really. We have to confess. It's an H-E-B pie. Why not? Anyway, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thankful for all my friends, obviously the KSAT family, and of course my family here at home. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, Marilyn, Dave, and the twins.
Yeah, that was cool. I love the truthfulness there with the pie.
Full disclosure.
Yep.
Yeah, expect more people from KSAT 12.
Got one of those H-E-B pumpkin pies as well.
They're pretty
darn
good.
I'm going to stop on the way home and get a Bill Miller pecan pie.
Ooh, that sounds good
nice.
too.
I hope they're available drive-through. I think they are.
The little baby twins, I remember when they were born.
I know, Zoe and Samantha.
Yes.
Hey, real quick look, folks, if some folks do have to be out right now, but be extra careful. Give yourself plenty of distance between you and other drivers. Use those low beams, and it is wet, so slow down if at all possible.
All right, as I said off the top of the show, I can't believe I'm saying we're going to be getting, in times, too much rain.
That's crazy. Turkey dressing on a side of thunderstorms?
Yeah, some thunderstorms. That's going to be a potential issue later on this afternoon. And then tomorrow, really, I think the biggest thing we have to watch out, well, other than the fog this morning, is the potential for some heavy rain. So once again, I think that's still 410 out there. I mean, you really can't hardly even see. Now, granted, this camera's on top of the building right there, and just right around 410 at Broadway. The airport is over in that direction. If you are doing any traveling this morning out at the airport, make sure you do check ahead. Here's what it looks like as far as visibility. 0.06 of a mile, so do the math. That's roughly 100 yards, basically. Quarter mile there at New Braunfels. Same thing, Bernie Stage. 0 visibility. It is pea soup, gravy, however you want to call it over there, Castroville, and that fog continues heading out 90. And again, all of the area in our viewing area. Junction is technically not in our viewing area, so everybody has some fog, be it a lot or be it a whole lot, and this is going to be sticking around throughout the rest of the morning. Plus, we have some light showers. So first of all, out there to the west, we've got just, again, basically light stuff covering Rock Springs, Lakey down toward Concan, and then this extends further on down to the south. This is all continuing to work its way primarily to the northeast. Crystal City, Carrizo Springs, a couple of these showers. Then we also have the flow coming in here from the Gulf of Mexico. That's kind of upstairs in the atmosphere, and here's the wind and this flow coming in here, again, from the Gulf. We've got a couple of showers and even a few decent showers, maybe a thunderstorm down here right halfway between Yorktown as well as Karnes City. And then a little bit closer into town, we've got just a few light little sprinkles that are showing up, especially on the east side of Bexar County. But again, this doesn't take into account the mist out there. I had just a very fine mist on the windshield this morning. Temperatures are pretty much going to be steady all morning long with some of that rain around here. Then we are going to make it into the upper 60s and low 70s. A couple of thunderstorms going to be possible then later on today. We'll make it up, like I said, to 70. Rain chances then late in the afternoon actually are going to start to sort of go down just a little bit, but then we get the chance for some thunderstorms. So here's what it looks like with the computer model. The light rain today, a couple of heavier showers are going to be possible, and then things start to fire up later on this afternoon well off to the east, and things taper somewhat this afternoon as far as the rain. Then we get sort of our second wave coming on in here, and that's going to be pretty much throughout the day tomorrow. It is going to be raining. We can see some heavy downpours, especially off to the east and to the northeast when it's all said and done, and this is going to continue into Saturday as well. There's the big low out there to the west of us, which will finally, again, work its way out of the area by Saturday. There is the potential for some severe storms, high winds, hail are going to be the biggest threats. And again, take this, and the biggest area or the biggest threat is going to be the further east you go. And then, of course, we do have the heavy rainfall potential, and that's going to be maybe 2 inches of rain in and around San Antonio, lesser amounts to the south and west, and greater amounts off to the east. So the forecast today, a lot of fog around here this morning, couple of showers, and 67 degrees at noon. Then we are going to be seeing a high temperature today up to 70. Showers, couple of thunderstorms primarily off to the east. Some of those could be on the strong side later on today. Then we get into tomorrow, potentially some heavy rain tomorrow. Temperatures will start off in the low 60s, get dropping down to 56 degrees. It's going to be windy tomorrow. Again, we're going to be seeing a bunch of rain around here. And then we get into Saturday. Rain's going to stick around into the morning hours on Saturday through 7, 8 o'clock, and then gets on out of here. Great looking weekend after that. We get warmer into late Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But again, today, fog this morning, some showers, thunderstorms, potentially strong, and then the heavy rain potential tomorrow.
What an unusual forecast for Thanksgiving week. I mean, what a way to end the week.
Yeah, this low, and you know, it's been kind of going back and forth and everything, and now it's just going to kind of sit in perfect situation to give us that heavy rain. So
it's going to be a little challenge for people headed in or out of town tomorrow.
Yes, indeed, and doing all the shopping and everything too.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, and since we're handling everything this morning, can we do a live selfie real quick?
Oh, okay.
All right.
It's like,
happy Thanksgiving. Okay, pause that a little bit.
Yeah.
Right now, 454, 61 degrees.
Let's look at your winning lotto numbers. Pick 3, 2, 5, 6, Fireball 6, Daily 4, 6, 8, 3, 9, Fireball 0.
Your Cash 5 numbers 4, 19, 23, 33, 34. Lotto Texas 3, 8, 28, 33, 50, 51. And Powerball
Good luck.
We didn't play. We'll be right back.
And this morning's GMA First Look, new details on the urgent search for justice in Idaho. Police revealing they've collected 103 pieces of individual evidence, combed through more than 1,000 tips, and conducted 150 interviews, but continue asking the public for more information.
We ask anyone with any information related to what happened with these four who are in our community, their interaction with others, to get that information to us.
This after police revealing they were told in interviews that Kaylee had mentioned a possible stalker.
We have heard mention that Kaylee stated she may have had a stalker. Detectives have been looking into that and to this point have been unable to corroborate the statement.
We'll have a live report about this town on edge coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm DeMarco Morgan, ABC News, Los Angeles, California.
2 minutes till 5, 61 degrees.
And this is obviously one of the biggest travel times of the year. Hear what some of the folks at the San Antonio International Airport had to say about their journey through the Alamo City this Thanksgiving.
And happening today, for the first time in 2 years, the Jimenez Thanksgiving dinner will be in person down at the Convention Center. A longtime partner, the Arcade Group, donated more than 500 turkeys for this year. We'll check in with all the preparations coming up.
And a quick look. Oh, there's a picture right there. Oh, the setup looks really nice. They're going to be super busy. And let's look out there with TransGuide looking over at Loop 410 at Starcrest. Pretty empty this morning, but for those of you who have to travel, be careful on the roadways. We'll be right back.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
With more than 600 mass shootings this year alone in the U.S., President Biden saying there are more empty seats at the table this Thanksgiving. Emwin, ABC News, Washington.
And let's look outside with a live cam here in San Antonio. And you can't see much this Thanksgiving morning. Very, very foggy out there.
And a good morning to you. It is Thursday, November 24th. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us. And just to let you know, this morning, a lot of city services are closed due to the holiday.
That's right. One thing that is not closed today is the Jimenez Thanksgiving dinner. It is back in person down at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. And I believe this is a live look. The Arcade Group donated more than 500 turkeys for the dinner. The community-style dinner is a give-back event expected to feed up to 25,000 people. Raul Jimenez's grandson says this year's dinner will make a difference for the people who need it most. It's free. It's open to the public, and the doors will open at 9 o'clock this morning. But everything is ready to go. And I'm sure it smells like turkey and gravy and stuffing in the kitchen there at the Convention Center.
It looks nice with all the decorations out, but I know people heading over there are going to have to deal with some rain, though.
Well, here's a sure sign for sure that things are back to normal with Jimenez back in person, Mike.
That is absolutely fantastic to see, but if you are heading down there, allow yourself plenty of extra time, and it's going to be slow going because of the fog that we have out there this morning. And then we're going to be seeing some more showers too. We've got a few of those, but fog is the big deal this morning. 62 degrees right now, and then look at that bottom number. Dew points at 61, and then you factor those together and you get a relative humidity 96%. And with all that and a little bit of breeze out there and some other factors, that's why we have all that very thick fog. The humidity just came back in with a vengeance overnight. And we are going to make it up to 70 later on today. So this will be the warmest day of the week, of the work week, or the 5 days of the week, not including what's going to happen this weekend, but it is going to be warmer. Then there's another front that's moving on through here. As far as the aquifer, it did go up half a foot yesterday, and the allergens, we do have a lot of mold out there, and I would suspect that number is going to be going up given the fact we've got so much moisture and some of this rain as well as some of the fog out there. Visibilities, I mean, it is literally pea soup in some spots. We've got visibilities down to 0, just heading out 90 off to the west there, right around Castroville. Out at the airport, maybe Oh, now it's improved, actually. It's just a couple of hundred yards, about an eighth of a mile, quarter mile there at Bernie Stage. And then Hondo has dropped down to just a half-mile visibility. And this is all over the area, all of this fog. Then on top of that, we do have a couple of showers. Here's what's showing up on radar right now. Just these few little light sprinkly showers. This doesn't even include all the mist out there. And widening out, we do have a few more down here to the southeast, some of these showers. And maybe there could be later on this morning a clap of thunder off here to the east of us. That's not even taking into account what's going to be happening later on this afternoon. And then we do have a few more of these showers out here in portions of the hill country. All this is sliding to the west. This is kind of the little leading edge, if you will, of the big low, which is out there to the west of us. This is the thing that was in the Gulf of Alaska just a couple of days ago. It is now working its way down in toward the Big Bend area. We will have rain around here today, and then sort of a lull in the action. A front moves on through. It's pushed through by this thing. That actually will touch off a couple of potentially severe storms. Then this thing is going to work its way down in toward the Big Bend and then sweep up here. But it's going to produce a lot of rain tomorrow, and that's going to be one of the things we have to watch out for is the heavy rain tomorrow. Then it finally gets on out of here by Saturday. But like I said, there is the chance for a few severe storms later on late this afternoon into this evening, well off to the east. High winds and hail are going to be the biggest things to expect with that. But we've got the fog this morning, showers, then that front later on today. And rain is going to be off and on. It's going to be slow going if you're heading out today at any time. And then storms later on today. Again, high winds and hail are going to be the biggest threats, but most of that will be well off to the east of us. Then tomorrow, heavy rain can be expected, especially off to the north and northeast. Windy, it is going to be cooler. Temperatures will start in the low 60s and drop to the mid 50s by late in the day. Rain starting off Saturday. Then the rest of Saturday looks fantastic, as does Sunday. If you can put off your shopping till the weekend, that would probably be the best advice, because tomorrow's not going to be really a good day to be out. We will take a closer look at all the numbers and what to expect rainfall-wise in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
A quick look at the roads out there with TransGuide, looking over at Loop 410 at Starcrest. Again, not too busy this morning. If you do have to travel, be careful. You can see those roadways are wet right now. And it is one of the busiest travel times of the year. 55 million Americans are expected to hit the roads or take to the skies for the holiday weekend. San Antonio International Airport is one of the busiest locations in the area. A few passengers that we talked to say that their holiday travel experience was exactly what they had anticipated.
And it was horrible. I mean, Chicago was incredible. I mean, there's so many people, so many delays. I mean, but it's good to finally be home.
It was actually surprisingly smooth and easy, no delays, and I was expecting a lot more people at the airport than there were, so it wasn't a big deal at all.
And if you are traveling in and out of the airport after the holiday, keep in mind Sunday is also expected to meet or even beat pre-pandemic crowd levels. As of this morning, there are little to no delays for departures and arrivals at the airport. And construction on the St. Mary Strip is burying businesses. Those on the Strip were hopeful to get a large crowd like they usually do the night before Thanksgiving. However, crowds again didn't seem to show up. Those who work there say sales are worse than when the pandemic had them only doing takeout and drive-through orders. So Slackers employees say last night was not comparable to years past. Rumble employees told us the crowd was decent. However, they blame the difficulty not just to park, but also to get around on foot. District 1 Councilman Mario Bravo said efforts were made yesterday to make the Strip more pedestrian friendly.
Oh, it's definitely a lot cleaner out here. What I've seen is there were some obstacles that were trip hazards that have been removed. There was fences that were put up to delineate between the construction project and where the pathways were.
Owner of the Squeeze Block, Aaron Pena, responded to Bravo's cleanup efforts with a statement that read in part, "We didn't ask for that. We are asking for the city and his office to immediately send relief by way of funding and expedite this construction."
This morning, authorities are identifying the gunman in the massacre at a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia, as 31-year-old Andre Bing.
As ABC's Wynn reports on what police are now saying about Bing when he opened fire on his coworkers.
Horror unleashed inside a Chesapeake, Virginia Walmart when an employee identified as 31-year-old Andre Bing opened fire. Breonna Tyler in the break room saying she saw her store manager walk in and start firing wildly.
Swaying his arm back and forth. He didn't have a target.
Bing using a pistol as his weapon of choice, according to police, before turning the gun on himself. He was the overnight leader, an employee since 2010.
And then once I saw blood, I was like, oh, this is really real. And then that's when it processed that, like, you have to run or you're gonna die.
Police found 3 people dead, including the shooter in the break room. 1 near the front of the store, 3 others died at the hospital. The city releasing their names and faces. Lorenzo Gamble, Kelly Pyle, Randall Blevins, Tanika Johnson, and a 16-year-old boy name withheld because of his age. And the mother of victim Brian Pendleton saying they would have been preparing for her son's upcoming birthday. 7 others injured, including 24-year-old Jalen Jones. His mom now says he's in stable condition.
He got a gunshot wound, grazed his ear. That's when he realized that he was being shot.
Jones ran outside where a co-worker took him to his car before the medics arrived.
But I'm just thankful that he's alive.
The Walmart massacre, now the nation's second high-profile mass shooting in just 4 days. With more than 600 mass shootings this year alone in the U.S., President Biden saying there are more empty seats at the table this Thanksgiving. Emwin, ABC News, Washington.
And the time now, 5:10 and 62 degrees for now.
Elon Musk still changing things on Twitter, why he's now planning to bring back everyone who was banned from the site.
Also up next, a local fire captain shares some important information you need to remember when it comes to cooking your turkey. This information could save your life and your home.
As we go to break, here's a Thanksgiving trivia question for you today. Which president declared Thanksgiving a holiday? Well, the answer coming up. Put your hand down, Mike. Go straight.
No cheating, no cheating. A quick look out there with live cam. Very foggy, misty in some areas. Just be careful on the roadways. We'll be right back.
This Thanksgiving, first responders issuing a reminder to be cautious in the kitchen and outside when cooking.
If your plans for today's dinner includes a deep fried turkey, keep a few things in mind. Do not fry it inside your house or garage. You should be outside in a well-ventilated space. And we spoke with the captain of the Converse Fire Department who says water on or inside the turkey is one of the main reasons why deep frying a turkey goes wrong.
We want to make sure it's completely thawed and completely as dry as possible. Any water we introduce to that hot oil can cause a grease fire.
So Captain Cano says if a fire occurs, get everybody out of the area and call 911. He also stresses not to leave any food cooking on the stove or in the oven unattended.
Well, of course, many of us here at KSAT are celebrating Thanksgiving, including many folks that work behind the scenes.
So one of our editors is from Tim Stewart. I was going to say video and editors, but anyway, editors Tim Stewart is sending a happy Thanksgiving to everyone this morning. So take a look at his video.
Here's some of what he is preparing for his big meal today. Looks like he has some pecan pie working on coming out of the oven. Also sped up some video of his mixing and baking for some homemade cornbread for his world famous dressing today. Looks good, Tim. Happy Thanksgiving to you and Jenny.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Everything looks wonderful.
Tim's a big part of our GMSA family. Makes almost all the video happen right here.
Yes, he
on
does.
The morning show, along with our other great editors.
Yes, he does. I was like, maybe he'll bring leftovers.
Right? And you know what?
We'll
I
see.
saw a survey the other day, and apparently Americans prefer leftovers to the actual meal itself.
Really?
Makes sense, right?
I like them both.
I do too.
Right?
I do too. We're saving space for later, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
All right, 5:15, 60. I'm already hungry. 5:16, 62 degrees.
And snooping repair shops. We're going to show you the alarming number of repair shops that have snooped on customer devices, and most of the victims are women.
All choked up about it, Steph. Plus, how Google is changing its full emoji reactions for some users.
Happening today for the first time in 2 years, the Raul Jimenez Thanksgiving dinner will be in person at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. A longtime standing partner, the RK Group donated more than 550 turkeys for that dinner. Community-style dinner. It's a give-back event expected to feed more than 25,000 people. Raul Jimenez's grandson says this year's dinner will make a difference for people who need it most. This is a free and open event to the public. Doors will open at 9 a.m.
Now we got to figure out how many chairs are in there and how many balloons are in there. We need all the numbers.
That's a trivia question in itself.
It is. All right, so we asked this trivia question right before the last break. Which president declared Thanksgiving a holiday? Mike, you have a guess?
Lincoln.
Lincoln? The answer is Abraham Lincoln. He named it a national holiday on October 3rd, 1863. So the story goes that Sarah Hale, a woman who wrote Mary Had a Little Lamb, actually convinced Lincoln to make Thanksgiving a national holiday.
Oh, wow.
And now you know.
I love this. I'm going to use this information later today.
Outside right now, if you have to run some errands this morning, last minute run for whipped cream or some other ingredient, you're looking at 410 and Starcrest. Fog is definitely an issue. It's misty out there. And Mike has us on the lookout for storms. We'll talk about that coming up.
Shop Macy's Black Friday specials now while supplies last. Get up to 75% off fine jewelry and 30% off party-ready dresses. Plus, get 40% off Levi's. Stores are closed today, so shop Macy's.com now.
BioFreeze, the #1 clinician-recommended menthol topical pain relief brand. Works fast, lasts long. Cool the pain with BioFreeze.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft.
Holy Charmin.
Excuse me.
Roll it back, everybody. Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more, but it's so absorbent, you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
For people who are a little intense about hydration, Neutrogena Hydro Boost. Lightweight, fragrance-free, 48-hour hydration for that healthy skin glow. Neutrogena, for people with skin.
Let's look out there with TransGuide, looking at that shot over at Loop 410 at Starcrest. A few more people there.
And I'm not seeing any accidents on the TxDOT site right now, but we'll keep you posted if that changes. Mike?
If you are heading anywhere this morning, you know, you're talking about last minute run to the grocery store or something like that, allow yourself plenty of extra time. If you're heading off to family and friends' house, really anywhere around our area, you definitely have to take it easy. That's going to be the situation not only today, but also tomorrow. Here's what it looks like. This is, again, over there by the airport. That's 410 somewhere right in there. And the airport, the control tower is right there, Broadway. And as you can see, now granted, this camera's on top of the building out there, but it's still very, very foggy all over the area. About an 1/8 of a mile visibility at the airport, just a couple of hundred yards, I should say, pardon me, and 1/4 mile there at Stinson, 1/3 of a mile Port SA, as well as Randolph. But everybody has very thick fog this morning. Like I said, all around the southern part of the state, there is fog. So if you're going north, south, east, west, any direction, you are going to run into some of this fog, as well as run into a couple of showers out there. We've got a lot of light mist and drizzle. It was that very fine stuff in and around town right now. But obviously, we do have a few showers out here to the west, right around Rock Springs, and that extends up in toward Junction, down by Lakey, Concan, and then further on down to the south, another batch right around Crystal City and Carrizo Springs. Off to the east, there are also a few more, not as widespread a light rain, but even a couple of cells that are trying to develop right here, and maybe even like around Yorktown. Don't be surprised if there's a couple of lightning strikes and a couple of rumbles of thunder, especially as we go into later on in the morning. Then again, like I said, right around town, there are a few little showers. Here's one batch of rain that's now starting to, at least detectable rain, coming up 35 from the southwest side of town, but most of it is just on the light side. It's that mist and drizzle. Roads are damp. They're going to stay this way all day long, all day tomorrow, and the first part of the day on Saturday. Temperatures are going to be staying steady this morning. We make it into the upper 60s, 70 degrees, and we'll have that chance for showers and a few thunderstorms. Rain chances will start to taper off a little bit. And as we go into the late afternoon hours, you can see we've got rain around here this morning. And then, again, it starts to taper off. But that's when things start to fire up out here to the east of us. That's going to be late this afternoon into tonight. Then in the overnight hours, rain really starts to pick up. And this is when we're going to be seeing the majority of the rain. And that will be the situation tomorrow. Potentially some heavy rain, potentially some strong storms. And this is going to be late this afternoon and this evening. evening, high winds would be the biggest threats, as well as some hail. And again, you see the rainfall potential. We're looking at maybe an inch, 2 inches of rain, a lot more further off to the east. And this is going to be through the next couple of days. Most of this is going to be coming tomorrow. So today we'll have fog, showers this morning, 67 degrees, a few more showers around, maybe a couple of thunderstorms by noon, and a few of them. Rain chances start to taper a bit, but then we've got the storms off to the east as the front works its way through here later on this afternoon. Tomorrow, temperatures will drop throughout the day, mid-50s by late in the day. Heavy rain can be expected tomorrow, overnight into early Saturday morning. Then we're going to be clearing out for the rest of the weekend. We'll be back.
In today's Tech Bites, a new proposal from Elon Musk. After asking Twitter users whether Donald Trump should be allowed back on the site, Musk has posted a new poll. He's asking if he should do the same for most suspended accounts. So far, yes is ahead. The voting ends later today. Research has found computer repair shops possibly making a habit of accessing customers' personal data. The report looked at computer repair shops in Canada, saying 50% of shops snooped on customers' devices, with female customers more likely to be victimized. Finally, Google Messaging is testing letting users react with any emoji, but some users will now see a plus icon. Hitting that lets them access any emoji, although recently used ones will appear in the top row. I've got a great hammer emoji pun I'm working on. I can't show it to you, but trust me, I nailed it. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Oh, you like that one, Gabby? She did a little bit. Yeah.
She's laughing over there.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Gabby. She's on teleprompter today, by the way, in case you're wondering. 528, 62 degrees.
And as many are celebrating with friends and family today, for families of the victims of the Robb Elementary shooting, it is going to be a tough day. We're going to show you how these brave Uvalde families are coping this Thanksgiving.
And a lot of folks have already hit the roads and are at their Thanksgiving destinations. But if you weren't able to plan ahead, we have some stores and restaurants that are still open to help you out. If you're just hitting the road today, congratulations. You've already avoided the busiest travel day of the year. If you need a last-minute item, we'll show you some of the places that are still going to be open, at least for a bit.
And looking out there with live cam, can't see much. That fog really thick this morning. Definitely you have to be careful on the roadways.
And Mike is checking on an advisory or an alert that's just now coming down. I have a suspicion it has something to do with the fog, and we'll talk to him in just a second. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. It is November 24th. Happy Thanksgiving. If you're up bright and early, you're off today, or maybe you have the pies in the oven. Mike will be joining us in just 1 second.
That's right. But for now, I guess, oh, yes.
Yeah, it is a, here, no, zoom back out to the 3-shot there.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a lot of fog around the area this morning. I mean, just woke up and looking outside, it's like, what the, it was, I mean, right there. It is so thick. Some of the thickest we've seen. And all of the area, too.
Okay, we're going to talk to you 1 second. Mike, real quick, we do want to take a quick look now. For the first time in years, the annual Raul Jimenez Thanksgiving Dinner is in person down at the Convention Center. This is a free and open event to the public. Doors open at 9 o'clock this morning, and you're looking live right now. Our photojournalist, Azian Bermea, is down there right now, all by himself. Showing a very large empty hall, but it's so nice to see that folks are going to be welcomed back by the thousands today. What they're expecting, like 25,000 people down there?
Yeah, it's going to be a good number, and I love how that turkey had the little sign, "Go Spurs."
Go Spurs,
we
go.
Definitely need a little help there in that area.
Especially after losing again last night, right? But it is a holiday, and so back to Mike Ostrage now. And normally our weather is pretty tranquil around here, but it's Mother Nature is throwing us a couple of curveballs today, Mike.
Yeah, it seems like in the past we've always had for some reason on Thanksgiving it's always kind of warm and humid. I know in years past when I put up my outdoor decorations on my Christmas decorations on the Friday after Thanksgiving, it's always warm and humid. And that's the situation today. And we do obviously have a ton of fog out there as of right now. Temperature stands at 62, dew point 61. So when these two numbers are neck and neck, you've got relative humidities well up in the mid to upper 90s, a little bit of a breeze out there. All of these ingredients are coming together for the very thick fog. It's actually gone up Visibility was down to 100 yards just about an hour ago, and now it's up to an eighth of a mile, just only still a couple of hundred yards, and Castroville at 0 visibility. Most areas are a quarter mile or less in around the metropolitan area, and then everybody, like I said, has fog in one way, shape, or another all throughout the southern half of the state. Here is the dense fog advisory that was just issued, and this extends pretty much along 35 counties on either side of that, and it's in effect up until 10 o'clock this morning. So if you are heading down to the Raoul Thanksgiving dinner, if you're heading off to friends' house, relatives for Thanksgiving, going to the grocery store for something last minute, take it easy, drive carefully. Also, we do have a little bit of light rain. We are seeing some of these light little showers in and around town. There's not much of it, of course. It's just, you know, mostly mist and drizzle. We do have a few more showers, and these are starting to form up right here in portions of the hill country, right there in Bandera County, and a few more off to the west. And this is just kind of a sample of things to come later on. So here's what's going on today. 67 at noon, 70 high temperature. Fog this morning, showers, more showers, a couple of thunderstorms thrown on in here. And then late this afternoon is when we may see some stronger storms, especially off to the east as the front moves on through. And this is going to be a line from about Junction back down through San Antonio toward Victoria. The greatest risk is going to be further off to the east. High winds and hail are going to be the biggest threats with that. And then as we go into, this is for the next couple of days, today and tomorrow. Today we will have some of these showers, but then it's tomorrow when we can expect some heavy rain. You're looking at anywhere from, say, 1 to 2 inches of rain in town, and then further off to the north and east, the heaviest rain. And yeah, we are looking at potential for some flooding, especially off to the east. Rain also extends into a portion of the weekend. We'll talk about that, and the rest of the weekend looks pretty nice. More coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. Let's look out there again with TransGuide. Speaking of the wet roadways there, things are moving. A few more people traveling early this morning on Thanksgiving.
No accidents to report. Well, while today is Thanksgiving, it also marks 6 months to today since the Robb Elementary School shooting. 6 months since 21 lives were cut short.
Our Lee Waldman has been following this story since the first day, and this week has been heartbreaking for the families.
What was once an elementary school tucked away in a quiet neighborhood has now turned into somewhat of a living memorial.
Flowers, crosses, teddy bears, and photos crowd the Robb Elementary sign. The lives of 19 fourth graders and their 2 beloved teachers are honored here. These past 6 months have been a roller coaster of emotions for the families they were ripped away from. Grieving parents, siblings, and children have become advocates.
I'm up here because I'm begging you to make a change.
Marching in our nation's capital and protesting outside Governor Greg Abbott's mansion in Austin. They've gone to countless city council, school board, and county commissioners meetings to demand accountability, transparency, and justice. Berlinda Areola, grandmother to A. Marie Jo Garza, making a vow to her granddaughter.
Like I always say, everybody knows we're not done.
Javier Cáceres, Jackie Cáceres' dad, ran for political office. Though he didn't win, he fulfilled a promise he made to his daughter on her last day.
I promised her from that day that I was going to fight to change, try to fight for change as much as I could.
We've learned about who each of the 21 were. Seen Uzziah's water bottle marked with bullets. Touched A. Marie's artwork. Learned about McKenna's passion for animals.
The animals that are on her mural, that's her dog Bailey and her daddy's horse, Dude.
About Irma and Joe Garcia, who couldn't live without one another. Their 4 children now forced to hold each other up. As families gather today to form new Thanksgiving memories, there will be 21 empty place settings. Their loved ones hope you'll remember their faces. Say their names.
Jace Luevanos, Uzi Garcia, Lexi Rubio, Jackie Cáceres, A. Marie Jo Garza, Tess Mata, Mike De Rodriguez, Ellie Garcia, Rogelio Torres, Xavier Lopez, McKenna Elrod, Layla Salazar, Miranda Mathis, Nevaeh Bravo, Jose Flores Jr., Eliana Torres, Annabelle Rodriguez, Jayla Seguro, Alethea Ramirez, Eva Morales, Irma Garcia.
We're working on a special project that will air on December 2nd at 7 p.m. It's a look back at these last 6 months in Uvalde, honoring each of the 21 victims. We hope you'll join us for it. In Uvalde, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
And again, 6 months to today since the massacre in Uvalde. Right now it's 5:38. In your other morning headlines, China is reporting its highest daily case numbers of COVID since the start of the pandemic. According to data from Wednesday, the country saw over 31,000 daily cases. That surpasses the last peak back in April, which saw over 29,000 infections during Shanghai's more than 2-month lockdown. It should, however, be noted that while this latest figure from China is higher than the official number of cases reported early in the pandemic, many cases in Wuhan, where the outbreak began, went unreported.
The man accused of shooting and killing 5 people at a nightclub in Colorado Springs is now facing possible hate crime and murder charges. 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldridge is being held without bail. In an initial court appearance yesterday, he appeared by video from jail and could be seen slumped over in a chair with injuries visible on his face and head. Police say 17 people were injured by gunshots in last weekend's attack.
Well, this morning you might be watching us with family or friends.
Or you might be scrambling through a last-minute to-do list. CNN's Amy Kiley shows us which stores are still open today.
And it will go on, right?
Not everyone can plan days or weeks in advance for the perfect Thanksgiving gathering. So here are some tips for tackling your last-minute to-do list.
Most people leave on Wednesday afternoon, mainly because they don't have a choice.
If you're just hitting the road today, congratulations. You've already avoided the busiest travel day of the year. AAA says morning traffic on Thanksgiving Day tends to be even lighter.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is when we start seeing people coming back. Try to avoid being on the road between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. on those 3 days.
If you need to run to the store, check out these places that should be open. But don't bother with these others since they're closed today. Also, it's not too late to plan a nice meal. Yes, prices are up for these Thanksgiving staples, and turkeys can take hours to cook. But you could celebrate with other foods or even eat out, says this award-winning chef.
Whether you're at a friend's house, whether you go to a restaurant, it is a moment where we can give thanks because we all have something to be super grateful for.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Time check 5:41, 62 degrees.
Shopping small, a lot of people are prepping their wallets for Black Friday, but it's Small Business Saturday that's looking to be the bigger deal this year. Find out how many are planning to invest in their local economy.
Outside with live cam, dense fog advisory for many counties this morning. Please be careful out there. If you can put off those last-minute errands this morning till the sun comes up, that would probably be safer. Be right back. Welcome back. Happy Thanksgiving. 5:44 as the holiday shopping season kicks off. Small Business Saturday is growing in popularity nationwide. A new survey reveals shoppers are being rather intentional about where they spend their money this holiday season.
CNN's Jen Sullivan has a look at what's driving a growing number of Americans to prioritize local entrepreneurs.
Shopping small is making a big impact this holiday season. A recent QuickBooks survey found 80% of small businesses say this holiday season is more important to their overall financial picture than it was last year.
It's a fight for survival.
Allison Ash, owner of this holiday store called The Wrapper, says this is a critical time for her finances.
I just feel really lucky and blessed that we've had people who've been loyal to us.
This year, nearly 60% of Americans say they will shop Small Business Saturday, more than the number of people who plan to shop on Black Friday. That's according to a recent survey by Bankrate.com. And economists say it means more holiday shoppers are warming up to the idea of investing in their local economy.
Gen Z is actually a big part of that. There's a statistic that about 67% of TikTok users are buying items from small businesses that show up on their For You page.
Economist Kathy Corman-Fry says buying local is a great way to support entrepreneurs recovering from the lingering effects of the pandemic. For For small fashion designers like Camila Romero, being a sustainable brand has helped her stay competitive against fast fashion and major retailers.
I got everything made here in Los Angeles. I created my own community of people that I work with on a daily basis.
Romero says her company, Dead Blood, has found success because her pieces are unique and made to order, and because customers align with the brand's values.
A lot of my values are to make genderless clothing. I didn't want to just put everything in a box and say like, oh, we're just like a women's company, or this is for male or female.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Time now, 5:46, and it's 62 degrees for now.
Well, we can almost smell the turkey roasting. The Jimenez Thanksgiving dinner will be in person down at the Convention Center. You're looking live where everything is all decorated and ready to go. It's all organized and clean and beautiful down there. Looks like they have a stage ready for live music as well. The event gets kicked off later this morning. It is free and open to the public. Doors are at 9 a.m. A little bit later on, we're going to chat with the guy running that camera, Azian Bermeyer, a photojournalist. We're going to have him do a live report a little bit later on in the newscast.
Yeah, we look forward to hearing from him. And as we head to break, another Thanksgiving trivia question for you. So how many calories does an average person consume on Thanksgiving? Well, we're going to have that.
4,500, 2,500, or 6,000.
Yeah, I don't. What's your guess?
I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, folks. At all. This is more about it's information, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that one.
I'm going to go with like 6,000.
Okay, we'll be right back.
All right, 5:50 before the break, we asked this Thanksgiving trivia question.
That's right. How many calories does an average person consume on Thanksgiving? And there are your options right there. We thought about it very hard, and we were thinking there's no way it can be B. No way it can be 2,500. There's your answer, 4,500 calories.
And of course, that's just your first plate and dessert. Doesn't cover the second, third, or fourth round of turkey, potatoes, gravy, pie, fudge, or all the adult beverages as well.
It can definitely maybe be 6,000 for some people.
But who's counting, right?
Right. It doesn't count on Thanksgiving.
Let's check on traffic right now. Fog and mist are the main issue right now, but we have some good news. No accidents to report right now. Traffic's still very light. We're hoping most folks stay home today. Mike Osterhage.
Yeah, if you really don't have to drive today, it'd be a good day just to kind of hunker down inside. You know, we've got 3 football games going on here. We've got all this fog around, as well as some of the light rain. Tomorrow's going to be a different story, and I know a lot of folks wanted to, hit the stores tomorrow, but we're going to have a lot of rain around here tomorrow. So that you may want to perhaps think twice about it. Dense fog advisory was issued about 15 minutes ago. It's right along the I-35 corridor, and then also going up 281. Includes all of the metropolitan area, as well as, like I said, San Marcos going up in toward Austin. This is in effect up until 10 o'clock this morning. And visibility, the numbers, a couple of 100 yards out there at the airport, third of a mile, Port SA, Randolph, 0 visibility around Castroville. Quarter mile in most areas. When you get widespread less than a quarter of a mile visibility, that's what is really prompting this dense fog advisory. And again, this is something we really haven't seen around here in a long time. A lot of times it's just fog maybe along the coastal plain or scattered about here and there, but everybody is seeing some really, really thick fog this morning. So if you're hitting the roads, definitely take it easy no matter where you're going to be heading around here. Also, you are going to run into a little bit of rain. Obviously, we've got some of these showers out to the west. And notice also up there right around just to the north of Real County and almost into Kerr County, a couple of lightning strikes are now being detected. And then further, a little closer in toward the center of our area, right there around Bandera as well as Comfort, we've got a couple of cells that are developing, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see a few lightning strikes with those cells right around Bandera as well as Comfort coming up here in the next couple of minutes as things get a little more agitated. Other than that, most of it is just on the light side, and in and around town, again, just some of this light little rain, and we've got a couple of these cells off to the east as well, which I wouldn't be surprised if some of those decide to have a couple of lightning strikes strikes associated with them. Temperatures are going to be staying pretty steady for the next couple of hours. We will have some of these showers around here and got a 60% chance for some rain. It's going to be a little bit more broken up later on this afternoon, but then also that's when, by the way, we hit a high today of 70. That's when we are going to start to see some of the potentially stronger storms. So we keep the light showers around here throughout the day, and then a couple of these cells will continue to develop, and especially off to the east. And again, that's when we may see some strong to potentially severe storms. That line from Junction through San Antonio down to the southeast. High winds are going to be the biggest threats, as well as some hail, and that most of it will be further off to the east and to the northeast. Plus, we are looking at some potentially heavy rain. This is through tomorrow, and it's also going to be sticking around in through Saturday morning, some of the heavy rain. So the forecast today, what you see is what you get this morning. Showers, couple of thunderstorms, 67 degrees, and a few showers and maybe a storm at noon. And then later on this afternoon, showers, a couple of storms, 70 for a high temperature. Some of those may be on the strong to severe side, especially off to the east and northeast. Then we get some heavy rain tomorrow, 56 degrees in the afternoon. Temperatures will drop throughout the day. It's going to be windy. It's going to be windy on Saturday, rain early Saturday, and then we'll clear out the rest of the weekend. More after this.
Good morning, coming up here on a Thanksgiving edition of Good Morning America. I'm at the Philadelphia Parade. We'll have reports from the Macy's Day Parade. It's a big morning, and we've got a lot of news to get to, including that holiday travel rush. You know we are all over it, millions of people on the move. We're going to tell you the best times to head out if you're on the road today and where weather might not cooperate going through the weekend. You know I'll be tracking that. We're also feeling the holiday spirit. It's one of our favorite GMA traditions, Thanksgiving 911, an all-star panel of chefs that'll help solve any of your last-minute problems with your Turkey Day meal. We also have some bargains that you'll want to get into. And did I mention parades? It's going to happen right here on GMA.
Ahead in the next hour of Good Morning San Antonio, new developments in the mass shooting at that Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia. What investigators are now learning about the suspect just ahead. At Transcat right now, yeah, folks, if you can do this, not a person on the road right now in this shot at 410 and Starcrest. Okay, there's one car. Happy Thanksgiving. Please be safe out there. A lot of fog and mist, and it's about to get stormy around here, at least for some of you. Mike has an interesting forecast still to come.
With more than 600 mass shootings this year alone in the U.S., President Biden saying there are more empty seats at the table this Thanksgiving. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Okay, and here at home, things are ready to go down at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. The Jimenez Thanksgiving dinner is back in person for the first time in 2 years. We'll have a preview of today's big event live.
And everyone headed out there to eat or to volunteer, be careful. The roads are wet. Taking a look out there with live cam, kind of drizzly and very, very thick fog.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. It is Thursday, November 24th. Happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us. You know, it's a little wet out there, but I think, you know, festivities will still be fun.
It will be a good day. Just be careful out there. The interesting thing is Mike Ostrage is about to serve up turkey dressing and a side of potential thunderstorms.
Well, yeah, we've got some thunderstorms. Actually, a couple of lightning strikes are starting to show up right now. And then later on this afternoon, yeah, north of our area, don't be surprised if you see a few, but then later on, late this afternoon and tonight, especially off to the east, some stronger storms, potentially severe. But I think the biggest thing we're going to have to worry about, and the biggest thing that's going to kind of cause issues, will be potential for heavy rain tomorrow. Yeah, and after being so dry all year round, now we're talking about the potential for a lot of very heavy rain. A lot of fog out there right now. This is the camera that we usually show over there right around 410 is somewhere in here. Broadway, the airport is right about in there. Obviously, got a lot of thick fog in the area. We have visibility as just a couple of hundred yards out at the airport, 0 Castroville, 3/4 of a mile in Kerrville. So no matter what direction you go, you will stay in fog. Rock Springs is finally clearing a little bit there, but that's the only spot that in our viewing area that has good visibility. Other than that, a lot of very thick fog. So like I said, no matter where you drive this morning, it's going to be fog. There's also going to be mist on the roads as well as some of the showers because the fog has just been keeping things damp all night long. Dense fog advisory. This is from the Corpus Christi Weather Service office. So all the way down into the coast if you're going down 37, but all right along the 35, 281 corridors, San Antonio metropolitan area up to Austin. Dense fog advisory up until 10 o'clock this morning. This is what's showing up on radar right now, and most of it is on the light side. Well out there in toward the northwest corner of Kerr County, a couple of lightning strikes are now starting to show up. This cell right here in northern Kendall County, wouldn't be surprised if that wants to develop a couple of lightning strikes, and then down here to the south, a few heavier downpour cells are starting to develop, and that will continue to be the case throughout the rest of the morning. And then later on this afternoon, there is that threat for, and this is going to be into the evening hours, for strong to severe storms. Northeastern half of our viewing area. The greatest threat obviously is further off to the east and to the northeast, but high winds and some hail is going to be the biggest threat, with that high winds being the number one threat. Scattered light showers pretty much all day long. Temperatures will make it into the upper 60s, 70 degrees, and then it's late this afternoon. It's funny how rain chances kind of ease up a little bit late this afternoon, but off to the east, that's when that severe threat moves on in here. Then we start to see the heavy rain tomorrow. How much can we expect, and how long is it going to last? It's been kind of extended. We'll talk about that and take a look ahead at the weekend in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Mike, thank you very much. Taking a look at traffic right now. Steph, you've got a better view than I, but TxDOT reporting no accidents right now as of 6:04.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. A few more people on the roadways this morning, but very quiet for the most part.
We'll keep an eye on it for you. A reminder that city services are closed today and tomorrow for the Thanksgiving holiday, but of course, our police, fire, and EMS are still on duty.
And trash or recycling pickups might be a little different. If you usually have your trash pickup today, it will now be picked up tomorrow. And if your pickup is on Friday, it will now be on Saturday.
We have a full list of all the city closures over at KSAT.com.
And while Thanksgiving is traditionally a day filled with joy, today is also a somber day in Uvalde. It was 6 months ago today that a gunman walked into Robb Elementary School, killing 19 students and 2 teachers. Now, coming up on GMSA at 6:30, we are going to hear from some of the family members of the victims and how they are remembering their loved ones this Thanksgiving.
Well, new details this morning following the latest mass shooting here in the U.S.
Authorities are now identifying the gunman in the massacre at a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia. 6 people were killed and more than a dozen hurt.
ABC's M. Nguyen is tracking the latest this morning.
Horror unleashed inside a Chesapeake, Virginia Walmart when an employee identified as 31-year-old Andre Bing opened fire. Breonna Tyler in the break room saying she saw her store manager walk in and start firing wildly.
Swaying his arm back and forth. He didn't have a target.
Bing using a pistol as his weapon of choice, according to police, before turning the gun on himself. He was the overnight leader, an employee since 2010.
And then once I saw blood, I was like, oh, this is really real. And then that's when it processed that, like, you have to run or you're gonna die.
Police found 3 people dead, including the shooter in the break room. 1 near the front of the store, 3 others died at the hospital. The city releasing their names and faces. Lorenzo Gamble, Kelly Pyle, Randall Blevins, Tanika Johnson, and a 16-year-old boy name withheld because of his age. And the mother of victim Brian Pendleton saying they would have been preparing for her son's upcoming birthday. 7 others injured, including 24-year-old Jalen Jones. His mom now says he's in stable condition.
He got a gunshot wound, grazed his ear. That's when he realized that he was being shot.
Jones ran outside where a co-worker took him to his car before the medics arrived.
But I'm just thankful that he's alive.
The Walmart massacre, now the nation's second high-profile mass shooting in just 4 days.
With more than 600 mass shootings this year alone in the U.S., President Biden saying there are more empty seats at the table this Thanksgiving. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Other stories are following for you this morning. More Americans filing for unemployment. According to the Labor Department, first-time claims jumped by about 17,000 last week. But even though that may sound like a lot, that's still near pre-pandemic lows. And good news if you're looking for a deal this upcoming rather. Wall Street Journal says executives at several big retailers have been talking about steeper discounts in the coming weeks. They are trying to clear out extra inventory. Well, it is Thanksgiving, of course, happening today. The first time in 2 years, the Raul Jimenez Thanksgiving dinner will be in person down at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center.
And our photojournalist, Azian Bermea, is there now. Good morning, Azian.
Hi, Azian. I understand you've done a little bit of homework down there.
Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing? Happy Thanksgiving.
Hi, Azian. I know we have
okay.
Can you hear me okay? We've got some audio delay there, and I know I hear a little bit what we call mix minus, but give us a preview. Take it away down there.
Okay, so I heard y'all earlier talking about trivia, and one of y'all's questions were how many chairs are out here?
Right.
And I was talking to Raul Jimenez III himself, and he said there were over 6,400 chairs prepped and ready to go. And then another question y'all had was how many balloons? Can y'all take a guess about how many balloons there are?
Oh, actually, well, I read your note, but I forgot, so I'm going to guess again. I don't know, 200?
I'm going to say 2,000.
I said 200.
So let me give you a better clue. There are about 99 red balloons, so that should save off some of it.
Wasn't that a song?
Yes, it was.
But no, but there are, we said 5,124 balloons set up, inflated, decorated, and I'll tell you what, guys.
Wow.
The detail is in the decorations, because I know that Stephanie said she liked the Go Spurs turkey that was suspended up, and along with the others, they have all the chairs set up. They have placemats, custom placemats, and I think, Mark, they even have one for you. It tells you where to put your plate, your spoon, your fork, and your knife.
Thank goodness. Back to basics, you know?
You're ready for you. They have you. They got yours. But no, guys, it's really exciting to be out here. First time after a 2-year absence. You can just feel the energy. Like, no one's here really right now, but it is just so exciting to see everything set up, and like, it's just a vibe right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready to see what the turnout is today.
Fantastic. Well, I love the idea of putting Azian in front of the camera.
Yes.
For Thanksgiving. Azian did a great job as a reporter. Yeah, you did. Don't be bashful.
Real quick. Let me just say happy Thanksgiving to San Antonio, and today is a special day. Happy birthday to my daughter, Adeline.
That's right. Happy birthday, Adeline.
All right, Azian Bermea, photojournalist here at KSAT, reporting live for us down at the Convention Center. Thank you, buddy. Happy Thanksgiving.
Aw, thanks, Azian.
Okay. Time right now, 6:10, 62 degrees.
And a lot of people have been going out of town for the holidays. Just ahead on GMSA, why experts say it could be extra dangerous on the roads this Thanksgiving.
What was he saying about the placemat? Do I need that kind of placemat?
He was giving you a hint.
Do I not know where the plate and the fork and everything else go?
Well, maybe he was watching you at the potluck yesterday. I don't know.
That's possible. Okay, outside with live cam right now, it's really soupy out there. But Mike wants us to pay attention to what could be a very stormy forecast that's coming up.
This Thanksgiving, I'm grateful for Thanksgiving because after 15 years, I am finally getting the holiday off, and I'm going to be able to spend it with my family, which is awesome because that's what the holidays are all about. Sitting together, just giving thanks for what you have. And I'm just grateful that I finally get a chance to do that.